guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mimi and I'm so happy that you're here. Today we're going to continue on with my series of my makeup collection going into the year of 2024. And today we are going to do this very top drawer in my vanity. This is all of my setting powders as well as my face palettes. I'm going to combine this one because I don't have very many face palettes. I do have quite a bit of setting powders as you can see here. So let's just dive right in and get started. I'll start with my face palettes first because I don't have very many of those. So we'll just start here. This is the Hourglass Ambient. So, I'm not sure. I think this is the 2. I have this one. It is one of my absolute favorite palettes. I love Hourglass. Their powders are so beautiful, so light. This is one of my favorite ones. Highly recommend it. Another one I really love is the Charlotte Tilbury, and this is the Nudegasm face palette. This is another one that is really pretty. I love it. As you can see, they are very well loved. These bronzers are gorgeous. I like this one as an all-in-one palette. Sometimes I just use the bronzer for eyeshadow as well, and then I put this in like, you know, my brow bone as well as highlight. This is a wonderful all-in-one palette. Very much enjoy it. I love this one. And then this one I'm actually just going to declutter. This is the Benefit Force Scope Earth Angel. Nothing wrong with this palette. It actually has, I don't know if I want to declutter it. I've had it for a while and I find that I use this mainly when I travel, which is still good. It's really good for that purpose. But out of my face palettes, this one, I want to say I just don't really reach for it other than when I'm traveling. But when I look at it, I just love it. I don't know. I guess I'll just keep it and see if I use it this year. But it comes with a bronzer, a blush, and I use this one as a blush too, like a blush topper and a highlight. So you got Hula, you have Georgia, Honeymoon, and Cookie. And it's a beautiful palette. I want to declutter it, but I want to keep it when I look at it. So I'll see how I feel throughout the year. Then I have a Z palette here. These are just ones that I absolutely love and I wanted to keep them all in one place rather than having a bunch of them. These are all part of like palettes or single palettes, and these are just the shades I wanted to keep. Like for example, these two are part of an Ulta palette, a really old Ulta palette. I can't remember. It was an influencer. She had a collection with Ulta. Anyway, her collection was fantastic for medium skin tones. It was a wonderful palette and I loved the blush. It's actually one of my favorites, and the highlighter I kept. And then here I have just a random highlight that I got from an Ipsy bag. These two are actually MAC blushes. I depotted them. As you can see, I like gouged this one really bad. I believe this one is Peaches and this one is Melba. My favorite way to use these is actually to combine both of these. These two are ColourPop shades. This one is in Private Party. It's just a bronzer. And this highlight is in here, Kitty Kitty. As you can see, the bronzer I love. I have a really good dent in it. And this is just a palette of just like things I love. So I keep this. So those are all my face palettes. I'm gonna move on to my setting powders. I keep them in the same drawer because I don't have very many face palettes, so I just kind of keep that over here. I'll start with these two because these two don't fit in here, so I actually keep these here on my vanity. They're just too tall, so this doesn't close when they're in here. So first up is the Laura Mercier. This is the translucent powder. This is one of the cult favorites. Everybody raved about this forever. This one is really good. I do enjoy it. This is one of my favorites though. This is the House of Labs. This one is also in translucent. I love this one. The only thing I don't really like is that I find that it's sometimes hard to get the powder out. I don't know if maybe I just don't know how to get it out, but I've been using this since I picked it up and this is one of my favorites. So definitely keeping that. Another one that I love is the Laura Geller. This is the Baked Balance and Brighten in the shade Medium. So this one, first off, it gives you a little mirror, which is pointless because it's way too small. But this one I like to use when I want to touch up. There's something, I think this is supposed to be a foundation. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's like a powder foundation. I like to use this to correct my face in the middle of the day. This, once you apply it, it really does give a beautiful like correcting to the face after a long day. I really enjoyed this. I actually picked this up on Amazon, so I highly recommend it if you want to give something like this a shot. Then I have the Lawless. This is in light medium. This is the perfecting powder. is what it's called. I've been using this for a while. I really like it. It's really, really nice on the skin. It comes with its own little puff on the bottom too, which I actually don't use, but this is a beautiful powder. Really enjoyed this. Another one I really like, but I like this mainly for under eyes. This is the LYS in translucent as well. The shape of it is a little hard to store. I mean, I have to kind of like play Tetris when I'm putting it in here, but this is a beautiful powder. I've made a really good dent in this one as well. I love this for my under eyes. So this one's a great one. This is probably everybody's favorite one on YouTube. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless, and I have in the shade 3 Tan. I've already hit pan on this. I will repurchase this. This is a wonderful powder. Cannot have a collection without it, but I think I'm going to go one shade down. This is a little too dark for me in the winter months, but since we're going into summer, I probably will be okay. But when I repurchase this, I think I will get the 3 again, but I'm also gonna get the one underneath it. This is a wonderful powder. Another powder I really enjoy, this is the one size, and I have it in medium 1. Turn Up the Base. Is that it? Yeah, Turn Up the Base. This is a beautiful powder too. This leaves a beautiful porcelain finish to your skin. There's something about the formula of this that just smooths out everything. Really pretty under the eyes. I use it for all over the face too, but under the eyes, just completely smooths it out. This is a great one. Another one that is really good, this isn't the container for it. This is just something I bought on Amazon and just put the powder in here. This is that RCMA. It's just a translucent powder, and I just put it in this container because the other container was so big. This for a while, I probably should actually get rid of it because of how long I've had it, but it's such a good powder. I really enjoy this. I might actually just repurchase it. Try that powder. It's very affordable. You get a giant tube. I'll put a picture of it here so you can see. This tube will last you forever, and I think it's only like 12 bucks. Then I have the Makeup Forever Professional Paris. This one is the Matte Velvet Skin in the shade Y305. So this one is very mattifying. They released another one, I want to say maybe about a year ago. It has the same layout and everything, but it's not black. It's like a nude color on the front, and that one I think is supposed to be like a glowy setting powder. That one came out after I purchased this. I wish I would have purchased that one instead. This one I'm just trying to use up. This is a really nice powder, but I have very dry skin, so anything mattifying is not the best for me, but this one works. It's still really nice, so I do use it. This one is the Revlon Color Stay Pressed Powder in Translucent. This one is a beautiful powder too. I bought this, I think either at Walmart or Target. I can't remember, but this is beautiful underneath the eyes. Does a nice blurring effect. Very affordable. Give this one a shot. This is the Glowish by Huda Beauty in the shade 5 Medium. This is the Luminous Pressed powder, and this is a gorgeous powder. I love this. As you can see, it's very well loved. This shade is a little dark for me though, so I use this if I have a foundation that is just maybe a little too light, but in the summer, this is my shade. Another compact that I absolutely love is the Kosas Comfy Cloud Set. Oh, I think it's the Kosas Cloud Set, and I have the shade Comfy. First off, I love the packaging of this. It's so sleek, and it's actually quite weighted for being plastic. Beautiful powder. It looks beautiful in the skin, underneath the eyes. I ended up getting a hard pan very quickly for some reason. So I went in and just kind of scraped off the top layer. And since I did that, it's been fine. I haven't had any issues at all. I'll say that's the only thing that kind of was weird to me, was that it got hard pan so fast. But once I got underneath the hard pan, this is a beautiful powder. Then I have 3 powders that are supposed to be comparable to each other here. I find that they're all different, and they're just beautiful powders in general. This is the Huda Beauty Banana Bread in Easy Bake Loose setting powder. This is a beautiful powder. Really enjoy it. This one does have a scent to it though. It's a little perfumey, but it doesn't bother me. It goes away pretty quickly. But this is a beautiful powder. When you apply it, your face looks flawless. One that they say is compatible is the Maybelline Fit Me, and this is in the shade Light Medium. No scent to this at all. Beautiful powder. Really enjoy it. Super affordable. Buy this at the drugstore. Highly recommend it if you don't want to spend the money on this one or the next one I'm going to talk about. This is a great alternative. I highly recommend this one too. One of the most beautiful powders I've ever used, is very pricey, but it's worth it. Worth every single penny, is the Givenchy. This is the Prism Libre, and I have the one in shade 3 I think it's Violet Rose, but the shade 3, and it's the one that has all of the pink different shades to it. My skin has never looked more incredible than when I've used this. This is the most beautiful powder. It is worth every single hype that they have. Again, pricey powder, but so worth the money. If you are unsure about spending the money on it, just do it. Just do it. This is the Giorgio Armani. This is the Luminous Silk Compact in the shade number 7. Now, as you can see, this is the old packaging, but I've used, and it comes with a mirror. It comes with a puff, but I got rid of the puff a long time ago. This is so loved, so loved. And I still haven't hit pan, which is crazy. I'm shocked that I haven't, because I've had this forever. I should probably toss this, but I refuse. I refuse to get rid of this because I've heard that they reformulated this a couple of years ago and it's just not the same. That's what I've heard. I have not tried it. If you have, please let me know. This is the most beautiful powder I've ever tried. If I lost all my powders and this was the only one that stayed, I'd be happy. Then I have the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Magic Powder Under Eye and Face. I do like this powder. I think it is really nice. I find that it's really easy to apply. What I do not like about this powder though is the smell. I think I just might have gotten a bad one. I'm not sure, and I never returned it at this point. I should just toss it if I don't plan to keep it. I can get past the smell though, because once I apply it, it goes away. That's the only con I have about this. Other than that, the powder is really nice. Then I have the Hourglass Veil. This is the translucent setting powder as well. This is a beautiful one. I got the mini one because, as you can see, I have quite enough powders. You know, I just don't need big powders. I find that they're really hard to go through. So I grabbed the small one of this. This is a beautiful powder. I really enjoy it. I actually take this one when I travel because of the size. And then my favorite powder for under eyes that I absolutely love is the Pat McGrath Labs. This is the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powder. This is in the shade medium. This comes with a mirror that is useless. It is so tiny, you don't see anything in it. As you can see, this powder is super loved. I've used quite a bit of this. It's actually supposed to be a dome and it's completely flat at this point. This is a beautiful under eye powder. I love it. It's great for what it is. And that is it, guys. Those are all of my face powders as well as my face palettes. And then I have the 2 here that don't fit inside the drawer. Please continue to come back as I go through my collection and I show you what it is that I'm going to be using for the year of 2024. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks. Bye.